I think research involves a lot of curiosity. Pose questions, collect data, and try to answer these questions. China is very keen on protecting elephants, and I hope our work contributes to improve these human-elephant coexistences.
Last speaker is Professor Himsa. He is from Xishuang Banna Tropical Botanical Garden. Welcome, Professor Himsa.
First, thank you very much for having me here. And China has become, like in all disciplines of science, a very important, it's a powerhouse in conservation science. So a couple of years ago, we decided to launch a new academic journal called Integrative Conservation. And this is a new China-based global conservation journal published by Sichuan Banna Tropical Botanical Garden. My name is Ahimsa Campos Arceiz. I'm from Spain, and I'm a professor and a principal investigator here at the Sichuan Banna Tropical Botanical Garden. I study wildlife ecology and conservation, and we do two main things. One is we try to study the ecological function, so then how these animals affect ecosystems. And the other area of research is human-wildlife conflicts. Living next to animals like elephants or tigers or leopards, how we can reduce that impact. So this is science. Science is a bit like an onion, right? So you have many thin layers, and then science just keep on growing layer after layer. I think my group and I, we are doing a decent job. We work hard and we work on interesting things. We are not changing the world, but I think we are part of progress. I have been in China about 2 years. I came here in March 2020. There were many things that made me feel coming here. And for my work, I think we are maybe 10, 15 years ahead of what will happen in other parts of Southeast Asia. They're going somewhere for some reason, right? They're tracking resources. Okay, the animal knows, okay, winter is coming, let me go to the hot place. Or the dry season is coming, let me go to the wet area, right? Why it chose to come here, and here, and here. So here you can see there's a very clear directionality, right? It's a straight movement, so it seems the elephant is... I'm very impressed with the quality of Chinese students. What I found when I moved to China is it's a huge quality of researchers, particularly young people. You know, they are really, really outstanding. And you know, the education is excellent. Their attitude is very, very committed. You know, people work very hard, and I'm looking forward to see them doing like really fantastic work and having very good impacts. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Yeah, so as we will discuss these days, whenever you live with elephants near your home, that's a big thing because they have the potential to have very big impact on your life, sometimes very negative, you know. So then much of our work is about understanding that kind of interaction with people, but also we don't want to focus only on the negative interactions. That's why we also want to understand the benefits that these big animals bring to ecosystems.
我们再来关注云南野象群。
野生亚洲象
A group Asian elephant
吸引了全世界的目光，
野象群总体
还在移动。
象の群れは昨日の夜に
400여 킬로미터를 이동해
They continue to trot.
经过了17个月的远足，
has finally arrived at its original habitat.
象群在监测范围之内，
严防人象冲突。
遭遇大象一定要提高警惕，保持距离。
I began to follow this story in, I think, around October 2020, and I was surprised all the time because we knew when the elephants had left Mongyang, Sichuan Banna, that was outside of their recent range, and it was surprising how elephants were getting farther and farther and farther. And then since then we just keep on asking once in a while, so where are the elephants now? So we have been doing a lot of work on understanding the drivers of elephant behavior, why they go, where they go, why they eat, what they eat. We put some tracks in front of the bridge that comes to our home, in case that they came. So we were trying to make sure they couldn't come, because also if they cross that bridge, it would be like very dangerous for everyone. There was one night that I think it was 2 or 3 elephants came from there. They actually entered this crop area, and they did very small damage, nothing very serious. They also damaged some of these glass houses. Okay, so this is the guy, yeah. I'm taking the limelight from you. I'm talking about your crops, like our rice and...
Professor Mao.
Nice to meet you.
From the
Yunnan Agricultural University.
Oh, fantastic. Nice to meet you. Yeah. I'm talking, this is our breeding center. I'm taking all the credit for your work. So this is Professor Chupon's, yeah.
那个是非常，我跟他生死之交。什么叫生死之交呢？他大象来的时候，当然我们基地是重点保护对象，所以你们走过去看见很多大象围栏。然后为了不让大象吃到这个东西，有天晚上大象从那山上下来的时候呢，为了保护一种基地，所以我们就开着大卡车去堵大象去。这堵大象呢，因为他大象行为学家，我还能讲点英语，所以只有他跟我去。那去了以后呢，找不到大象，当我们抬起头的时候，大象就在我们面前，所以隔着一块挡风玻璃，跟大象亲密接触了一下。然后我跟他开了一个玩笑，虽然做大象这么近看过大象吗 ？Never， 从来没有。肾上腺素飙升，腰杆一下就胀起来了。
We got close to elephants in this case, but our job was mainly to separate people from elephants. One of my concerns was what if these elephants kill some people? So then luckily that didn't happen, but you want to get people engaged and you want people to care about these things. I think it was unprecedented. I think never before in any country there was such an effort to respond to 17 animals. I think never before had happened. The amount of economic cost, the amount of people mobilized, the amount of resources utilized. Well, China does it in a bit different way than other parts of Asia. And the main concern is to focus on people's safety. And that is done mainly through monitoring the elephants and telling people where the elephants are. So trying to prevent elephants and people getting close to each other. So it's mainly a matter of people's safety. In other countries, it's more an economic issue, and there is more focus on protecting the crops. But I think here it's more personal. And then, of course, there is a lot of people who are in the field collecting this data. Particularly in China, there are many people working on monitoring. And this produces really good data because it allows us to monitor the movement of the elephant. And from this data, this is the kind of data we're analyzing these days. And then this data gives us very good understanding of where elephants go and why they go, where they go, and then how this relates to from the ecological impact to the interactions with people. In the case of China, China is developing very sophisticated monitoring and early warning systems, more than other countries. I think we will be able to export this model to other places. Well, the main difference that I can tell between the work we have been doing in Malaysia and the one we're doing in China and the kind of data that can be generated is China is much more developed in terms of technology. And then the quality of monitoring here is much higher. And I think that in a few years, in 5 to 10 years, it's going to be completely different to what we were doing before in terms of scale and quality. So then we have lost a lot of elephant populations in the last 100 years. They will not survive in the next 150 years unless we decide that we want to protect them. For China, the specifics of my work about elephants, I think is very important because China is very keen on protecting elephants and is doing it well. So then, the elephant population is growing. It has doubled in the past 25 years or so. So we need to learn how to cope with this success. But how do we handle the negative consequences of this growth? Again, I hope our work contributes to improve this human-elephant coexistence. It is great. I mean, I'm very pleased to live in Sichuan Bana. It's one of the best places that I know. It's full of beautiful nature. You can see the view from my office. I'm privileged. Every day, particularly in the late afternoon, I'm working, looking at a layer of green trees with a blue sky on the top. That's what humans want. Okay, that makes any human will enjoy that. It is warm, and it's warm. I love warm weather, but also it's socially warm. People are very warm here. I remember when I began coming to China, I thought Chinese would be a bit socially cold and distant, but it's not. People here are very warm, engaged, happy, and that's something that I didn't expect at the very beginning, and so it's a lovely place. I think I'm very, very grateful for being here. Catch with 2 hands. I think research involves a lot of curiosity, right? And it's such a powerful drive. We work hard and we work on interesting things, pose questions, collect data, and try to answer these questions. Because what we do is very applied science. So we're trying to do research to deal with problems. I expect to be here less 8 to 10 years. I think that's the time that I can get done the basic things that I'm trying to do. Yunnan is very diverse, so then I think one of the main advantages is that it does have a lot of biodiversity that can be protected. So I think Yunnan has half of the plants and half of the animals of China, so that is really remarkable. So I think in the case of China is a bit particular because there's so many people in this country. It's such a big country, but it's a big country in area, but also in population. And now it's a very rich country, and I really like what I was seeing here. I saw a very optimistic society. I think China has been growing for the last 40 years. I saw huge growth in all dimensions, economic, but also in terms of science, in technology. So all these things, if they are put for conservation, they can be very useful. So I think that's a very positive thing.